a thought-provoking and comforting exploration of near-death experiences as collected review by Marlys of You're Going to Die Someday, right? Written by Dawn Winner. This book completely pulled me in from the very first chapter because it approaches the topic of death and the afterlife in such a grounded and analytical way. Instead of trying to persuade readers through religion or fear, it examines near-death experiences as collected human data, and that made the entire reading experience feel fascinating, thoughtful, and surprisingly comforting. What stood out most to me was how the author focused on the consistency of these experiences across cultures, centuries, and belief systems. The repeated descriptions of tunnels, light, life reviews, spiritual beings, and overwhelming peace were presented in a way that felt organized and carefully researched, rather than sensationalized. I appreciated that the book never tried to force conclusions onto the reader. It simply laid out the patterns and allowed the evidence and personal accounts to speak for themselves. One of the most memorable parts for me was Furi's story. His near-death experience involving lightning truly struck me emotionally and stayed in my mind long after I finished reading. There was something incredibly powerful about the way his experience was described and how it connected to the larger themes of consciousness and survival beyond physical death. That section gave the book a deeply human side that balanced perfectly with the analytical approach. I also loved how the author explored the idea that these ancient stories shared around campfires thousands of years ago may have been the foundation for humanity's earliest beliefs about souls, ancestors, reincarnation, and the afterlife. That perspective added a sense of historical depth that made the book feel even more meaningful. It reminded me that humans across all time periods have wrestled with the same questions we still ask today. The writing style was clear, engaging, and easy to follow, even when discussing complex ideas about consciousness and mortality. Rather than feeling dark or frightening, the overall message felt reassuring and deeply reflective. The book encourages readers to think critically while also remaining open-minded about experiences that science still struggles to fully explain. What I appreciated most is that the book respects both skeptics and believers. It never demands blind faith. Instead, it invites curiosity and thoughtful consideration based on thousands upon thousands of first-hand accounts. Whether someone approaches the topic from a scientific perspective, a spiritual perspective, or simple curiosity, there is something here that will resonate. This was an incredibly intriguing and emotionally impactful read that left me thinking long after I turned the final page. It offers comfort without preaching and wonder without exaggeration. For anyone curious about near-death experiences, consciousness, or what may happen after we die, this book provides a fascinating and deeply human exploration of one of life's greatest mysteries.